Chantal Haskett from Aston Advantage. So I started the business 16 years ago. We are a specialist in mining and construction recruitment. We have grown to a team of 50 working across Sydney, Brisbane, Perth and the Philippines now. And we do everything from your tradies to your labour hire to your white collar. We cover it all. So we were on TRIS previously. I'd been on TRIS pretty much near the beginning, but then it just, as technology has grown, as AI has become more and more important and more apps are coming out, it wasn't evolving with the way the industry is going. So it started to become really clunky, really outdated. So I had to discover a new product. I did the usual bullhorn job adder demos. The three products are they all have their pros and cons, but they're all very technology based and keeping up. So you really had to then dig into that next level of what sets you apart. So again, anytime I've dealt with any software that's based in America, time differences, scheduling meetings, the support, it just becomes really hard and there's always problems as much as they say they're not. Vinny, I found your team was in Australia, your data centre, it's all stored here in Australia, so there was some security, but you still had an international presence to keep evolving with technology, keep that improvement and those investments. So to me, that was a good thing. And then I like some of the integrations you had. You had the LinkedIn integration, you had some cool, clever things like your live list. So between the product and then the Australian service, I was very happy with that, which is ultimately what made me go with Vinny. I did find the process very good with Vinny, but that comes down to a few really key lessons. So if I go back to the benefits of doing the TRIS migration, that was a disaster. That was my biggest lesson learned. It was my first big major project, because everything from starting Aston, when you start a product, it's really easy. But when you migrate data, oh my God. So for TRIS, it took us 2 years and we did everything wrong. So I took those lessons and working. So I personally took on the migration project. I found that was the only way to really get involved and understand it. So working with Dimitri, he was my migration guy. He was wonderful. I think I tested him and pushed him to his limits, but he put up with it and he really worked with me and he challenged me where I needed it. So one of the biggest things, if you're doing a migration, I had to learn was not to try and make Vinny like TRIS. We were changing products for a reason and you were way better and more advanced than what I was on. So why keep all of our processes exactly the same? So opening your mindset, and that's where Dimitri did push back and challenge. And then working with Mark as the project manager, he again, when I go, okay, this is how we currently do it, but let's look at best practice. You work with recruiters all the time. Doesn't mean my process is the right way. So tell me how you think we should work, and then we'd find some sort of compromise there. So I must say it did go very well, but I was determined to learn the Vinny way before I tried to be stubborn and make it be the Aston way. So from an efficiencies and productivity point of view, the reason the Philippines office came around is we had 3 recruitment administrators. So they were uploading CVs into the old system, where now they've become fully fledged recruiters. We've turned them, because we don't need the admin role anymore, because Vinny handles that. Automatic uploading, it's a click of a button to put a CV in, the integration with Seek and LinkedIn is there. So all that admin tasks have been removed, but then also the continuous improvement, the integration with AI now, the looking at workflows, you're able to talk to the team and work out how we're going to improve it. So I have a lot of new recruiters that come from other agencies, the big ones, and it's a common piece of feedback. They love Vincere. They're like, your system is wonderful. You have to learn how it works. It wants to work in a certain order, but I think that's any IT software. Once you learn the order and you learn its tweaks and its quirks, then it works really well. It was always a vision to become completely paperless and embrace technology, which is where the first need for a new system came from. So Vincere has allowed that. You've got your mobile app. We all run Surface Pro so that we can use Vincere out on a client site. You're entering all your job order information in there. You can show them the radius search. I love your radius search where you can bring up your map and it's your Airbnb map that pops everything up there, and that impresses your clients. They go, oh, that's how many Boilermakers you've got in that area. So all of those things then meant we could phase out printing from every office to the point that we don't own a single printer in the company. When I say paperless, I 100% mean paperless, and we wouldn't be able to do that without the technology and the backing of Vincere. When I heard that you'd been purchased by the Access Group, and I was like, oh, here we go. Going to be fobbed off to the UK. We're going to become a big corporate. We've got red tape in place, and I'm not going to be able to communicate with anyone ever again. And he promised me that that is not the case. He promised me that I still had access to all my people, and everyone was still going to be there and give me the support. I called bullshit. I said, I don't believe you because I've been through this too many times, and I've wasted all these years of setting up this beautiful CRM. But no, he reassured me, and he's right. So definitely there has been absolutely no change to the customer experience, and I still have that same relationship, but I now have access to other products that have been integrated into Vincere. So the partnerships that the Access Group have been able to give actually went in your favour. So I'm not unhappy anymore. So when we first met, Sean, I told you that I wanted a fully integrated system. That was my ideal, is that as technology is getting so complex, there are so many different apps and everything that I feel like you end up less efficient, and because you don't even know what platform you're communicating on anymore. So I want us, the vision is as Aston grows, our plan is to double over the next 5 years. So we will be then at 100 in our team. We want Vincere to be able to work with us on that. So we're at the moment looking at your fast track product, so the payroll side of it, and transferring from Astute across to fast track. So now bringing in payroll, which is it's one of our most important parts of the business, is to get our candidates paid on time. So being able to integrate that, which is going to give us better reporting. We're also looking at a couple of other of your products in your workspaces to be able to then bring in P&Ls, cash flows, and other parts. So just looking at one system that actually talks to each other in a two-way, because at the moment it is very one-way. I'm a fan of Vincere, so I would definitely say that on my experience, you delivered on everything that you said you were going to. There wasn't that big sales pitch and the bullshit that comes from what software companies promise but don't deliver on. So well done. One bit of caution that I'd give to anyone is don't expect that it's going to work off the shelf. You have to invest time, you have to be part of that project migration, and you have to remap all your processes. You have to look at that. So if you think that you're going to get the best product in the world from an off the shelf, you've got to work it. It's only as good as any CRM as the data you put in. So as long as you're investing in that time, Vincere is definitely a good partner to partner with.